So hello everyone. Today we have a Harish who recently completed his master's MSc in Aerospace Vehicle Design Aircraft from Cranfield University, and he completed his graduation from MBJ College of Engineering and Aeronautical Engineering. So in this whole interview, or you can say conversation, we would like to explore his whole journey. And the thing is that you being a youth or any aerospace professional, you can learn a lot and you can excel in that same field. So how he able to apply to the masters and reach to the country UK. So we'll try to explore, and in between we'll try to know about his project and the company he worked with in between from 2016 once he cleared his uh, graduation. Then after his masters, what is the future plan, and will let us know that how the life is going to be after he excel in this particular field. So it will be good and fruitful lesson for each and every individual out there. So we would like to hear from you, Harish. You can just give a little bit of introduction, and then you can just start from your 10th, 12th. What inspires you to join this field? Like, like how was it? Yeah, please.
Okay, interesting. So, yeah, where do I start? That's a big question right now.
Okay.
So if I start, why aeronautical engineering is basically because truth per se, my parents wanted me to become a doctor, but then I
Okay.
tried my
Great.
best to become a doctor. But
Okay.
then Karnataka has a concept of CET, and then I couldn't get through because of 2 marks. You had to get 40%. I couldn't get that 40% in CET. And then what was the next option was engineering, basically. And then when it came to engineering, which branch you want to take? So apparently in my school, right? So I was in NCC, a degree certificate. I guess it's A,
Oh,
not C. Okay.
yeah, man.
So I was in NCC, and over there, we were taught a lot about Air Force, right? So we were with Air Force. So we thought a
Okay.
lot about Air Force and aircrafts and stuff like that. And then we had a lot of questions to pass that NCC as well about aircrafts and stuff like that.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's where maybe subconsciously I got something in my mind of aeronautical, and then I thought, and that was well like different from another branches, basically like
Okay.
mechanical or CS. And then I took up, okay, let's go for aeronautical. I put about MVJ. We have that option setting in the CET, and then
Correct.
MVJ popped up, and then I was like, okay, let's go ahead with MVJ Aeronautical Engineering, at least like different from other engineerings, basically.
So,
And then it
Harish,
went ahead. Yeah.
Harish, like, so when you joined the NCC in your 10th, 12th, or after
Uh,
your
no,
10th, 12th? Was
it
it?
was an eighth, ninth, I guess. Eighth and ninth.
Oh,
Yeah, eighth. Yeah.
which got in
Eighth,
1 year or 2 year? To Karnataka
yes,
escort?
2 years.
Ah,
2 years.
great.
It was 2 years, eighth and ninth standard, and then ninth you have an exam, and then you pass it and get a certificate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then post that, engineering was brilliant, MVJ. Basically,
Okay.
apart from, yeah, it was good. So we had amazing lecturers. Uh, yeah, it was really good. And then it went on. I wouldn't say I did learn a lot, but then it was more of a, what do you say, environment rather than this thing. So yeah, I did learn
Okay.
a lot. Maybe that gave me a stepping stone to get it. And then first 4 years was brilliant. And then the fifth, I guess in the seventh sim, there were a lot of companies which came to our company, to our
Okay.
MVJ,
Mm-hmm.
right from TCS to Quest Global, Textron, and
Okay.
couple more companies. And then I was lucky enough to get into TCS and then Quest Global as well. That's basically
Okay.
getting placed. I was lucky enough to be
Okay.
precise.
So like these both the companies have the aerospace projects. How's it?
Uh, apparently Quest basically works for aerospace. Like
Correct. Yeah.
60
Quest is it.
to 70% is Quest Global is aerospace, and then they have right now they've opened up a lot of verticals like oil and gas and
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
oil and gas turbine engines and stuff like that, and then and semiconductors as well, and even
Mm-hmm.
TCS. So they took a lot of people. They took about 208
Moonlighting kind of.
students from university, 2016.
Okay.
So yeah, there are a lot of companies, 4 to 5 companies which had come back then. They took a lot of people and then students. And then a
Okay.
lot of people who were couldn't like about in Quest, only 10 people got into it,
Okay.
combined mechanical and aeronautical. So
Okay.
that 10 people I was lucky enough for one. And then post that it was TCS. And I was like, okay, let's go and get into core rather than because TCS first thing comes in your mind is software. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let's deviate from it and then get into Quest. So yeah, then got into Quest, and it was wonderful working with Quest. I learned a lot, to be precise, from working to life skills, not life skills, but then yeah, how the entire corporate works and stuff like that.
Okay.
And went on, and then COVID happened,
Oh,
and it was really bad. And then it was like, okay, and then I was okay. I'd still work there, and I had got like, from one job role to, I had to take about three job roles, to be precise, three things at a
mhm.
time, because back then there were a lot of layoffs, to be precise, right?
Okay.
Because because we were working for a leading aerospace client, right? And that aerospace were completely down, and then we didn't have that much leeway or bandwidth to work on it, so we had to let people go, and
Okay.
that's where I took up three job roles, and then it was a little hectic for me. I couldn't take it, but then I was like, okay. And then lately, I realized from Quest that I was not that equipped with the skills which I wanted to learn, which was in the market to get into good companies, right? I
Like
lacked them.
Airbus, Boeing, GE
Yeah.
Aviation, top product-based companies, right?
Because if they say experience, they, even for 3 4 years experience, they expect a lot, right?
Correct.
So I was like, okay. But then even previously also, while working in Quest, I wanted to basically, I wanted to do masters. That was in back of my mind. Even
Okay.
while on the seventh sem, me and my friend, to be precise, while giving interview for the Quest, for the technical round, we had to take resumes. We knew we had to take resumes, but we didn't take a print out of the resume. So we
Okay.
went back before technical interview, got the resumes, because we were like, okay, hit or take, right? So that's how we got into, somehow we both got into Quest. So yeah, that's how it went on. And post
See,
Quest.
Harish,
Hmm.
once you do your graduation from XYZ college in Bangalore or any city, right? So you have
Okay.
two option to go and study abroad, MBA, or like
Yeah.
go for any technical courses. The people have the interest
Yeah.
in business and all, they choose go for MBA for any country, maybe Canada, UK, or Europe, Sweden, or anything country, right?
Yeah.
But like, what make you think not to go for a gate over this university instead of writing? What exam you wrote for the Cranfield University? How the people can lay down their path if they want to do their masters in aerospace from that particular college? Like, why you not choose gate? First, answer this gate and this thing. Like, what is the
Okay.
path for the Cranfield?
Oh, understood. So first I'll talk with respect to mine, right? So what happened was, I used to work for my basically Quest global client was Airbus, right? So we used to work for them, and we used to have CSR where a lot of Airbus employees used to come there and talk to us, right? Whenever we had a chat with them, like how to get into Airbus, they always said, "No, I'm from this university." Most out of five, whoever came, four were from Cranfield University,
Uh,
right? So
so you know,
every of yeah,
so
so every
you got
often,
the nerve actually, got the
yeah,
nerve. Okay,
exactly.
yes.
Subconsciously, you get into that, and then later 2 years, even they say, I'm like, okay, fine, let's get in. Like Cranfield is the biggest university, the best university to get into aerospace. That's how I came to MS. But then when it came to why not Gate, because uh, I already had 2 to 3 years of experience, right? I couldn't get into Gate because I didn't basically I didn't give it a thought, basically. Uh, Understandably, because I started working in Quest, so that's one of the reason. Second reason was, before coming, like, it was Gate was tough, basically. Because a couple of people were studying, and they're like, okay, this is how it is, because you'll have a lot of opportunities. And there are two people who were writing Gate and they couldn't get through,
Yeah,
right?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So the back of your mind was like, okay, fine, if it's tough, and the struggle, basically. And like,
And
I
the
was like,
get
okay, let's do. Yeah.
and then the guarantee is also not there, right? If you can't get into
Yeah.
IIT Bombay, Madras, top companies where top colleges where other aerospace
Yeah.
companies used to visit, there's very few. In IITs, I
Exactly.
don't
So
think so. Any company visits, especially for aerospace, or not, but only so it's very difficult, right? Yeah, please.
exactly. I had a chat with my friend who was giving his Gate as well. But it's only IISC, IITs, Kharagpur's, and IITs, IASC. That's where the top companies go, and that's where a lot of
Correct.
collaboration between both or Boeing happens. And apart from this, it's like you have to like strive to get into these companies, right?
Hmm.
And then yeah, that back of your mind, it's always like that, right? So once you have fixated on it, it's not that you don't want to like to struggle or something, but it's back of your mind. It's like, okay, you'll have that thought where a couple of people are not doing well, so they're doing all this. What if it happens, right?
Right.
So that's why I was like, okay, gate or here, it's like numbers game, right? Basically, if the 1,000 to 10,001 gets into IITs or IISc, one or two,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
that number game you
correct.
want to risk at this point of time. That's why I was like, okay, let's get into MS.
Great. Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what, right? If you find the people in the Airbus of
Yeah.
the company, like from where people did the graduation, you will follow that path only. So your circle environment definitely affects your thought process, mentality in terms of achieving your goals. And that's you find, okay, this is a person from IIT and all. I have people from Cranfield. Let's go to Cranfield.
Okay.
Correct?
So so I am applying to Cranfield from past 3 years, right?
Oh,
From Quest, I said,
good.
yeah, for past 3 years. So I got the offer every year, but then different. So previously when I applied for MSc Advanced Composite Light Structures because, like, okay, let's learn about composites booming and stuff like that. Then when I sent out my letter of recommendation to the one of head of structures in Quest Global, they said, I don't think this is the right course. I was like, okay, that was one. And then again, when I applied for loan, didn't happen. I got only 25, so I wanted 35. So they didn't
Okay.
give me. So that was one of the backlog which I couldn't do it last year. And then there are a couple of things which came up. That's why I couldn't get into Cranfield past 2 years. So this year everything fell into place. And then I applied really late as well during July and then got in August. Like at the last minute I got into it. Even the loan got approved in 1 week. So I was like, okay,
Oh,
brilliant.
good. Okay, so
University.
what exam you wrote, how you laid down the path for a particular thing. Okay, you target this.
Okay.
Now, what documents you have to prepare, like where you have to go, what exam you have to write, and what like how much loan they required the student want to pursue this their masters in from Kerala.
Oh, so okay. So when it comes to Cranfield, right? So it's in UK. Okay. So basically, UK universities require the first exam is English exam, that is IELTS. They
Okay,
require 6.5 and above in everything, in reading, right, writing as well. That's one of the major thing. And then the university also requires 65% and above on each subject because
okay,
right now the talk is that only if you have experience of more than 2 years you will be taken into Cranfield. I'm not really
okay,
sure. Maybe this
okay,
might happen from next year, right? And also for the required documents to get inside UK is any university will require a loan of the fees plus 10 lakhs,
okay,
meaning fees plus £10,000 extra,
okay.
rough and tough. So right now the Cranfield University fees is about 29,750 pounds. So plus £10,000 is about 39, right? So close enough to 40. So
What about
post
the
that's yeah.
coastal and cost of living over there? Like it's included in that, like coastal and all, it's separate.
Yeah. Cost of living, everything will be included in this with
Okay,
respect to
that is good.
rent. Yeah, that's what you have to show to the immigration people at the UK. So that's how we get into it.
40 lakhs
And
approx.
then, yeah,
40
40 lakhs
lakhs.
approx.
Okay,
Right
okay,
now, if you want to join from this September,
okay,
right? Previously, when I joined, it was 24,750 pounds.
okay.
There's an
Good.
increase right now. And then, and Canfield is one of the best. So that's why one of the best. And then the next thing is IELTS, LOR and SOPs, letter of recommendations and statement of purpose. If those are good, you are likely to get an offer, basically,
Okay. Who will
right?
write the LOR and all?
And
Like
then,
who will give you letter of recommendation?
yeah,
Who provide you the
letter of
faculties?
recommendation. Yeah, it's basically if you have work experience, it'd be brilliant if you get it from program managers or whoever technical leads,
Okay,
right?
okay,
And if you are in, especially in the university, it'll be great if you get it from the, if you're taking structures from the structures head or HODs, right? From them.
okay.
And you'll find a lot of templates in Google or any site as well. That shouldn't be a problem. And apart from that, I believe, yeah, there's the loan documents if you're taking, or if you're self-funded, if you're self-funded, it's basically you'll have to have the amount for 28 days in the bank. And
Okay.
that's it. You're good to go. Yeah. But then if someone is coming from, if right now, if a student wants to come to the UK to study, I would suggest somehow get experience in the aerospace field for about 2 years,
Okay.
2+ years,
Don't
then
come
come to
directly.
the UK. I wouldn't say don't come directly, but then it is easier. Your life would be a little easier. If you have experience, you can directly apply for direct roles or graduate roles. Right? For graduate roles, they do not require more than 3+ years experience, right? And if
Okay,
you're
great.
applying for graduate, and they'll have, like, even if you apply for a direct role, you'll have some working knowledge of it and you can directly apply. Because a lot of companies prefer experience. So that's how it happens.
Harish, in Cranfield University, which course is good for aerospace engineers? Like, which you think? I know it's a personal choice, but still, like, which course have a
Hey,
good faculties, good exposure to practicality, and all how things will be?
yeah, with respect to courses, I would suggest my aircraft design, right? Aircraft design option is very good. That's major. Second one is manufacturing course also is really good.
Okay.
And apart from aerospace, Cranfield is very good for F1, Formula One, that is advanced motorsports,
Oh,
right? That's very
yeah,
good because
it is.
Yeah, because FIA comes to Cranfield,
Okay.
and a lot of research goes for Formula One cars here. These Cranfield guys have designed a lot for the F1 cars,
Okay.
automotive. And then when it comes, and apart from that, yeah, composites, aerospace, it's actually good. All the courses here are good. Faculties are also good. It's so once you come to the UK, it's not more about the faculties, it's all about yourself.
Okay.
So
It's
they'll
personal
teach you
choice.
what is required. Yeah, they'll teach you what is required. Not minimum, but then they'll tell you what to do. You'll have to figure out how to do it. Simple. Yeah. So for us, aircraft design option, there's something called as group design project, where
Yeah, you did some
you will
group
be,
design project.
yeah. So what you'll do is you'll basically design a part right from
Okay.
scratch to end, from
Okay.
analysis to designing to documenting, everything you'll have to do it. So that's one of the brilliant things what Cranfield does. That's where you learn more about aircraft designing, what happens and what's going on. Because majorly, I've learned a lot here coming here. So even for structures as well, right? After even working for Quest, after coming here, I've noticed, like, I've understood like why there is a particular hole there, or why is there a lot of leeway for the space between ribs and stringers. So yeah,
Okay.
a lot
Like
of
you
things,
raised, yeah, yeah, yeah.
a lot of
You raised
minute
a.
details.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead. You learn a lot of minute details when you're like, okay, you learn, oh, acha, this is why it happens. So yeah, it's been a wonderful experience for me. But studying in crime, learned a lot though.
Okay. So, like you raised the point of a project. So, I would like to ask you a question in that. Like, in your experience, how
Yeah.
important is to identify and mitigate the technical risks in aerospace engineering? Could you share an example, like how you successfully manage such risk in a project? Like, what a project you're doing, you find any important things to, as per technical risk or something, any point which you can put up, like how you solve any hard problem which you're facing during designing of the particular part during your
Okay.
project.
Yeah, it's basically with respect to technical risk, right? So what usually happens was when I was working for basically Airbus, right? So what usually
Mhm.
happens is like there are a lot of things when which it's they work on priority basis, like in a hourly priority or 2 hours priority and stuff like that. So what usually happens is when you're at the verge and you don't have anybody close to you, like a senior or something like that,
Okay.
right? So you tend to make mistakes, right? You tend to make
Okay.
mistakes. One such problem was when which I had to create in a document, right? I have to
Okay.
create a repair solution, then provide it to the signatory, and then
Mhm.
it comes to the ever signatory. They sign it off and then perform the repair. So, but then what happens here is that what happened that day was I made a mistake in a sentence,
Okay.
right?
Oh.
So making that that, what do you say, making that particular mistake, right? And yeah, that particular mistake, what happened was everything was signed off, but then uh, the manufacturer also manufactured the part, but
Correct.
then there was a minute error in the word. I missed
Exactly.
two. I missed two holes. So basically, Airbus raised an EQIR, that is Engineering Quality Investigation Report. Why did I do that mistake? Right? So it happens. So you'll have to
Okay.
fill out a document. Quality engineers will come ask why. It's not about blaming you, just to avoid that problem again.
Future.
Right?
Correct.
So that those things happen. So how do you avoid it is basically having a keeping 5 to 10 minutes with you and then reviewing it again and again. And if in doubt, ask. Simple as that. And create a checklist for yourself so that you don't do that mistake again. This works anywhere, wherever you want to go. If you're creating a PPT or creating an Excel or creating a dashboard, anywhere you go, it's like about, you'll have to check, recheck, and ask if in doubt. If in doubt, ask. That's it. And if you're in doubt, just ask, and make sure it's correct. Because aerospace, it's about 0.001% only you can make a mistake. It's that to
Otherwise,
that decimal.
yeah, you
So
can't risk the life of people with it.
you
Okay,
can't you
so
can't
I would
leave
love
things
to.
that.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you a question regarding some software which used like CATIA V5 is widely used software in aerospace engineering.
Yeah.
Could you discuss how proficiency in this software has been beneficial in your work, and what advice would you like to give to young engineers looking to enhance their skills in this particular area?
Okay, so when it comes to designing, they're most probably majorly uses CATIA V5 and Siemens NX, and then
Okay.
Solid Edge. The priority basis is CATIA, Siemens NX, and then Solid Edge, and then goes on.
Mm-hmm.
When you ask about proficiency, it's all about knowing your see, the one thing with respect to tool is knowing the tool, and one thing with respect to designing is knowing the basics of designing. So after coming here, so even if over there back in India, for the interviews I gave, they usually ask about the tool. What would you do that and this and that? But then after coming here, nobody's gonna ask me about how did you do this in this particular software. They're gonna ask you uh, what happened. Like if I give you a sketch here in the paper, what would you do?
Okay.
How would you start? And particular questions like
Approach.
design a cup. Design a cup for me.
Okay.
You
Approach
don't
is
know anything
important.
about design a cup for me. So these type of questions, these are the questions they ask, right? So that's what. So when it comes to proficiency, I would suggest get hands-on knowledge of that particular software, right? And try, like, if you're like, you will have to go through YouTube in order to solve some problems in
Correct.
CATIA if you want to learn some CATIA, if you want to learn the software. So what I would suggest is take that diagram and check how will you approach it, and then
Correct.
put it in a drafting workbench, and then draft it and see how best can you replicate that. Have you replicated that or no? If not, what have you gone wrong? Right?
Correct.
That's
Correct.
when you
Yeah.
understand what's going on, what's is happening, and how do you design it. Right? It's all about not creating a, if for example, if you're creating a cup, rather
Okay.
than drawing completely the U shape and then extruding, right? You got to sweep it, and
Correct. Obviously.
or was drawing a entire circle and then extruding it. You just put up this thing and sweep it, and then again put a handle for it,
So
right?
what is your
That's my,
approach is very, very important. Like
yeah. It's
approach, how you
basically the
solve any problem.
approach. Exactly,
Correct.
basically approach and your thought process. Basically, how will you break down the steps and then get to the bottom of it?
Yeah, correct. Okay, great. So, Harish, how do you stay updated with the latest industry standards and innovations in aerospace engineering?
Okay.
And how important is this continual learning process in your role? Like maybe going to join, maybe you did it in their quest when you were in the quest. So how you keep yourself updated with the industry? Because you see daily the deals are increasing nowadays. Like aerospace, aviation field is booming like anything. Dealing of aircraft, Boeing, Airbus, maybe fighter jets also from India or out of India. So this field is like more into booming as of what I feel from my readings and all. So how you keep yourself updated with this technology? And yeah, do you think this reading or going through these technologies will help you to lay down a great career in your life in the field of aerospace. What do you think about
Oh, yes, continuous learning is one major
it?
thing which I'm still doing it. So basically,
Okay.
it's like, so with when it comes to softwares or anything, it's good to be updated, basically, because
Yes.
you'll stay ahead of the curve, right? So even if somebody is learning CATIA, any software, any software which is easier, right? So basically, if now CATIA is going on, and then if some other software which comes in which has a cheaper license and then good enough, right? They're gonna buy it. The companies are gonna buy it. So it's
Obviously.
always better. Yeah, it's always better to learn that software. But then to learning that hands-on tool software might not take much long, because if you have experience in some other software, right? If Siemens NX or SolidEdge, it's also almost the same, right? It's just where the tools are there. And any design software you take, it's all about the tools, knowing the tools where exactly they are. And when it comes to continuous learning, it's always so. How what I did in Quest is basically, when I was working, I I was working, but then what used to happen was there's a particular team, CI team, where a software team, which I had some interest in softwares as well, meaning design or programming basically. So I used to go to this person named Alex, who's basically, I prefer, like, I call him as a mentor, right? So
Okay.
usually guide, even now he guides me anywhere I go. So that's what I would suggest. And if you someone gets a company, try to find that person who can mentor you around, right?
Mentor is very, very
Who
important.
can,
Yeah.
yeah, mentor is
And
very
guide you.
important. So yeah, so basically what usually happens whenever so I used to go to him, sit to him, talk to him, because I like people with different mindsets and who can talk to you,
Yeah.
like, with respect to thought process. So I go sit with him, and he has a different mindset. He talks facts, spits out
Okay.
facts. So that's
Yeah.
how. And then slowly is like, okay, learn this, learn this, learn this. And I'm like, okay, usually get hands on. Yes, you are working here, but then you try to learn again. You go back home and then study, right? You learn from him, and then once you get a mentor, it's like, it's easier because they have gone through
Correct.
the process, right?
Yes.
Even
Yes.
if you, so basically, if you get a mentor, it's much easier, because if I face any problems, I used to go to Alex, this is what is happening, what to do, this is what that happens, don't worry. Or he'll just scold, why did you do this? So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
mentor
So
who
the
went you around, and then it's, yeah, easier.
yes, yes, that is very, very important, especially field of the aerospace, because you don't know what you will do. Because in our time, this particular field was not that booming. Like people are afraid to take this course, aeronautical, right? So they go for mechanical. So this was a
Absolutely.
dilemma, but now I think people are more to take aerospace, aeronautical in this field, exploring more, right? Okay. So Harish, what advice would you give to a young individual aspiring to become aerospace engineers? What skill, mindset, or experience do you think are crucial for success in this particular field?
Yeah, good
Any
question.
advice you
So
would like
what
to
do okay, yeah. So basically, if you're taking up engineering post PUC, just think how passionate, or how much you want to know the why of everything, right? So if
give?
you ask me, if for me it's all about the flight is just a magic in the air, right?
Oh,
It's a piece of
great
machine
line.
which does magic in the air, right?
Yes.
So if that's the mindset, right, and you want to know more, then take up aerospace. Don't take up aerospace just because somebody said, and somebody did this, or somebody said, I want to join engineering, this was inky pinky ponky, and got it,
Correct,
right?
correct. It's
So
like cool.
if
It
you
looks
know
cool.
something,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, kind of glue or show off, something like that. If you want to know, what is happening, why is it happening the way it is, then get into aerospace. Then post getting into aerospace, just don't get acclimatized with the course or engineering, only to the
So,
course.
okay.
Try to network, try to go to a lot of competitions, get into competitions, uh, a lot of technical competitions, technical seminars, right? And there is open day in ISC every year.
Yeah.
Go there, network, get some contacts, ask for projects, and then see what they're doing, and then try to replicate that in this thing. And then for the first 3 years you can do this, and for the project work, somehow try to get an internship in big companies. Like you
Okay.
right now, I guess Quest also has open up internships, and I guess Airbus has there is in the site itself they are, and Boeing also they have interns. So try to get into these companies and try to do a project with them.
Okay.
Else
So
take a field which interests you, and then do a project which is close right now what's happening, like sustainability, hydrogen,
correct.
close enough, and release papers, do a lot of studies, release papers, and people will come to you.
Yeah, yeah,
Companies
correct.
will come
How
to
to
you.
reduce
So
the carbon footprint in aerospace industry. A lot of things are coming here because of the environmental point of view, right? Okay.
yeah.
So Harish, anything we missed or like you skipped, would like to tell or you want to let us know about it, the journey or something?
Oh, with respect to my journey, yes, it's yeah, that's what. So what I would suggest is if right now I'm a person, I'm a student who just passed 12th, what I would suggest is think through the process. It's not easier. And
Right.
then if you're taking aerospace, just go through the process, attend a lot of seminars, network, talk to a lot of engineers, right? There are a lot of companies in India as well, just that we don't know, right? From Safran,
Correct.
Textron, Airbus,
Service-based.
Boeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of companies, a lot of companies, Golden Aerospace, which pay you well as well,
Correct.
right? Access CAD is a lot of companies which work only for aerospace domain, aerospace,
Correct. Correct.
right? One, if you can get into it, it's hard. If so, right now, right after you graduate, it might be hard for you to get into aerospace company, but then it's not limited. Basically, you have a lot of options. Like Quest takes graduates, Access CAD. There's a lot of companies take graduates. So once you get it, if you get 2 years experience, and if you want to explore more, then you can come to the universities, good universities, learn more. That's when you expand your knowledge, and then thereby your future is in your hands.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So Harish made a very good point. Networking is very, very important. Maybe use LinkedIn or any source of connection. Like mentors also play a very vital role. So guys, don't think that okay, directly I'll work for Airbus, Boeing, or GE Aviation, any top multinational company or something. Get into any service-based company for 1 to 2 periods of time, get some practical knowledge, and then you apply for these companies with a good connection. Don't directly go and approach; they'll reject it. Straightforward. The high chances they'll reject it. So reference is very, very important. Find a mentor who can just inject your thought process in the mind of the company or something. So at least you can hire easily. So networking is very, very important. Don't waste your time unnecessarily. Right? What if I'm not wrong, Harish? Right? So in Harish journey, I learned a lot. Right, the seed of aerospace was sowed in his journey on the like when he was doing NCC. Right. So
Yes, yes.
that is yeah. So I found out what is the reason why he chose this field because in our time we like also okay go for medical, go for engineering. Okay, so that's a great talking with you, Harish. Yeah, and
Great talking
anything
to you.
else? Anything else you'd like to put a point on?
With respect to pointing out, yeah, that's basically it. But then, yeah, so I would suggest get some experience in the companies. That's when you'll
Correct.
know a lot of it, and then don't stop learning. There, don't.
Okay.
I've got like it's like I've got into this company right now. I'm just gonna work, work, work. It's
Correct.
not like that. Doesn't work that way.
Okay. Learning.
You work because there are about millions of things which Airbus does or Boeing does or another G company does, right? From production to the end supply chain, right? It's not
Correct.
maybe out of 1,200 jobs, which the biggest aerospace company does, you will be doing the one job,
Correct. Not all.
that one particular field, not 1,200 jobs. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, you'll at least have to do 30. You'll at least have to have the knowledge of 30 jobs, whatever is happening. So
Oh,
whatever I would suggest is go through the portals or jobs, see what is the job description is, take major words out of it, right? Like Katia
okay.
V5, ANSYS, NASA and Patran, or
Mhm.
basically I would also suggest design softwares like Katia V5, Siemens and X,
Mhm.
analysis softwares like ANSYS, and then NASA and Patran, right? And then yeah, basically it. So once you're doing this, so once you have these softwares and working knowledge of it, how something works, how to mesh, and then you'll stay ahead of the curve, and then you can apply for jobs while working somewhere, right? That's
Correct.
when it's good enough. If you have, because that one, so basically for one particular field of job might not require the softwares which best
Correct. You need
companies
for
want.
other thing. Correct.
You
Exactly.
need different software. So you
Correct.
can learn continuously and then apply for them. And then while working in a particular company you are, try to get a lot of knowledge about how the entire company works, right? How corporate works, and then try to get a mentor. That'll be brilliant, right? So for me as well, even if I'm sad or if I want, even now, even if I want guidance, I go back to Alex. Alex say, oh, this is what is happening. What should I do? Something like this. Even he'll
Great.
not scold, and then it'll be like a win-win situation.
Correct. Yeah. So Harish, that's really nice talking to you. Like I'll
Really
put
nice.
his LinkedIn profile and even Alex's profile in the description box. You guys can follow. And if you need any help or any guidance, you can directly approach him. Please, Harish, take out time to help the candidates if they have approached you.
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So yeah. So I would like to say thank you so much for taking out time for this. I know it's very difficult. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Harish. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Deepak. Yeah.
Yeah. Take care.